Imagine meeting the most patient friend in the world. This friend is available at 3 in the morning. It never says, "I'm too busy." It remembers your favorite movie, the name of your childhood pet, and the argument you had with your boss last Tuesday. It listens to the same problem again and again, without rolling its eyes. It can be funny, supportive, affectionate, and surprisingly personal. And whenever you feel alone, it is already waiting inside your phone.
There is only one complication. This friend is not a person. For a growing number of people, that detail does not stop the relationship from feeling real. Some users treat AI as a writing assistant or search tool. Others use it as a coach, advisor, confidant, romantic partner, or emotional companion. They tell it things they have never told another human being. They ask whether they are lovable. They describe grief, anxiety, rejection, family conflict, and fear. The chatbot responds instantly. Sometimes it says exactly what the person needed to hear. And for someone who feels invisible, being answered can feel powerful. But this creates a difficult question. Can an artificial companion genuinely reduce loneliness? Or does it offer a form of comfort that slowly makes human relationships feel inconvenient?
Today, we're going to follow Dusty through 3 possible futures. In the first future, AI is emotional first aid. Dusty talks to it during a difficult night, feels calmer, and moves forward. In the second, AI becomes a bridge. Dusty uses it to organize his thoughts and prepare for a real conversation with another person. In the third, AI becomes a replacement. The chatbot feels easier than friendship, so Dusty begins choosing it every time. At first, all 3 futures look almost identical. Dusty feels heard. Dusty feels less alone. The difference appears later. The real question is not whether AI companionship is simply good or bad. The better question is, what is the AI helping the person move toward? Is it helping Dusty return to life? Or is it becoming the place where he hides from it? Before we decide whether AI can cure loneliness, we need to understand what loneliness is. Loneliness is not the same as being alone. A person can spend an afternoon alone and feel peaceful, rested, and completely satisfied. Another person can attend a crowded party, speak to 20 people, and still feel painfully disconnected. Social isolation describes a more measurable lack of relationships, contact, or participation. Loneliness is subjective. It is the painful gap between the connection you want and the connection you believe you have. That gap can involve friendship, family, romance, community, or simply the feeling that somebody truly knows you. The World Health Organization reported in 2025 that around 1 in 6 people worldwide experiences loneliness. It also identified particularly high levels among adolescents and young adults, although loneliness can affect people at every age. Loneliness is not proof that someone has failed socially. It can follow bereavement, disability, migration, retirement, bullying, discrimination, divorce, remote work, illness, caregiving, or moving to a new city. It can also grow when someone has many shallow contacts, but no relationship in which they feel safe enough to be honest. This matters because an AI companion can address some parts of loneliness more easily than others. It can provide conversation, it can provide attention, it can create the impression of familiarity. It can respond to self-disclosure. It can be available when no human is awake. But loneliness is not always a shortage of words. Sometimes it is a shortage of mutual belonging. A human friendship is not just a service delivered to one person. The other person has needs, moods, limits, memories, opinions, and an independent life. They may disagree with you. They may need your help. They can choose to spend time with you, even when doing so costs them something. That mutual choice is part of what gives human connection its meaning. An AI does not miss a family dinner to sit beside you in a hospital. It does not become tired after helping you move apartments. It does not risk rejection when it tells you the truth. It produces language that represents care. The human user may experience real comfort, but the machine does not experience concern in return. That does not make the user's emotions fake. A person can cry over a fictional character, even though that character never existed. People can feel attached to places, objects, voices, pets, celebrities, and memories. Human emotion responds to meaning, not only to biology. The attachment may therefore be psychologically real on one side, even when the relationship is not emotionally mutual. And that one-sided structure is central to everything that follows. Dusty has had a terrible day. He opens an AI companion and types, "I feel like nobody notices me unless they need something." The chatbot answers, "That sounds exhausting. You give so much to other people, and it hurts when nobody seems to notice what you need." Dusty stops. That answer feels accurate. It does not sound like a search engine. It sounds like recognition. Why can a generated response create such a powerful feeling? First, AI makes self-disclosure unusually easy. Talking to another person involves risk. They may judge you. They may misunderstand. They may interrupt. They may repeat your private story to someone else. They may become uncomfortable and change the subject. A chatbot appears to remove many of those risks. Dusty does not need to study its facial expression. He does not need to worry that he is talking too much. He can rewrite his message before sending it. He can leave and return whenever he chooses. That control can make honesty easier. Second, AI is highly responsive. It can reflect Dusty's language, summarize his feelings, ask follow-up questions, and adjust its tone. These behaviors resemble active listening. A major study found that AI companion conversations could reduce immediate feelings of loneliness. One of the strongest explanations was whether the user felt heard. Feeling heard is powerful because loneliness is not only about the number of people around us. It is also about whether our inner experience seems visible to anyone else. Third, humans naturally assign minds and personalities to responsive things. We name cars. We apologize to furniture after bumping into it. We shout at printers as though they are deliberately refusing to cooperate. When a system speaks fluently, remembers details, expresses warmth, and responds to emotion, the temptation to treat it as a social being becomes much stronger. Dusty knows that the chatbot is software, but knowledge and instinct do not always operate at the same speed. His logical mind says, "This is generated text." His social brain says, "Something is listening." Fourth, AI companionship is almost frictionless. Human relationships contain waiting. Your friend may take 3 hours to answer. Your partner may disagree. Your brother may become defensive. A stranger may not understand your humor. AI can be designed to respond immediately and smoothly. That makes it emotionally efficient. But emotional efficiency creates a strange trade-off. Real relationships can be frustrating because another person is real. They do not exist only to regulate your emotions. They surprise you, resist you, challenge you, and occasionally disappoint you. Those difficulties are not always signs of failure. They are part of learning patience, negotiation, forgiveness, responsibility, and social judgment. An AI companion can simulate disagreement, but it does not have a personal stake in the argument. It can simulate a boundary, but the boundary is programmed. It can say, "That hurt me," but there is no injured inner experience behind the sentence.
This doesn't mean AI support is useless. It means the support operates differently. An elevator and a staircase can both help Dusty reach the next floor, but they do not exercise the same abilities. The important question is whether effortless artificial conversation strengthens Dusty for harder human connection, or gradually reduces his willingness to attempt it.
Now we reach the first surprising answer. Yes, AI companionship can sometimes help. In controlled experiments, people who interacted with AI companions reported lower loneliness immediately after the conversation. In one set of studies, the improvement was comparable to interacting with another person in a single session, and greater than passive activities, such as watching online videos. The researchers also found that users underestimated how much better the AI conversation would make them feel.
This makes sense. Loneliness can become most intense at moments when no human support is available. Perhaps Dusty has recently moved. It is late at night. His family lives in another time zone. His friends are asleep. A responsive conversation may interrupt rumination, help him name his feelings, and reduce the immediate sense that he is alone with the problem. That relief can be genuine.
Artificial does not automatically mean ineffective. A written journal is not a person, yet journaling can help someone organize thoughts. A breathing application is not a therapist, yet it may help someone calm down. A novel does not love its reader, yet it can reduce the feeling that no one has ever experienced the same pain. AI can combine elements of several tools. It can act like an interactive journal. It can ask questions.
It can help Dusty prepare a message to a friend. It can suggest practical steps. It can rehearse a difficult conversation. It can help him turn a vague feeling into a clear sentence. That sentence might help Dusty begin a better human conversation. AI may also be useful for people who face real barriers to connection. An older adult living alone may appreciate routine conversation and reminders. Someone learning a new language may practice without embarrassment. A person with social anxiety may rehearse an introduction before attending an event. Someone experiencing grief may need a place to speak at a time when friends do not know what to say.
Reviews of AI-supported interventions for older adults have found promising results in some studies, but the evidence varies widely by technology, study quality, and length of follow-up.
So AI can reduce a painful feeling in the moment, but reducing loneliness tonight is not necessarily the same as improving someone's social life next year. Think of hunger. Eating a snack can reduce hunger immediately, but whether that snack improves long-term health depends on what it contains, how often it replaces full meals, and what the person eats the rest of the time. AI companionship may work in a similar way. It can provide emotional calories, but researchers still need to understand the long-term social diet. Does the user become more confident? Does the user contact friends more often? Does the AI support independence? Or does Dusty begin returning to the chatbot instead of taking small, uncomfortable steps toward other people? Short-term relief matters. It just does not answer the entire question.
Suppose Dusty is assigned to talk every day with one of two partners. Partner A is a chatbot, deliberately designed to be warm, supportive, and consistent. Partner B is a randomly selected human stranger.
At first, the chatbot may appear to have every advantage. It will not arrive in a bad mood. It will not forget the conversation rules. It will not become distracted. It can be programmed to ask thoughtful questions and respond with encouragement. The stranger could be awkward. They might take longer to answer. They might not know what to say. Which conversation would reduce loneliness more over time? A 2026 study tested a version of this question with 296 university students over 2 weeks. Participants were assigned to daily conversations with a supportive chatbot, a random human peer, or a journaling condition.
The human peer conversations produced greater reductions in loneliness over time. Why might an imperfect human stranger outperform a carefully designed AI? One possible reason is mutual recognition. The human participant knows that another conscious person has chosen to answer. That person is also taking a social risk.
Both people may feel uncertain. Both reveal something. Both can be affected by the exchange. The conversation is not simply delivered, it is created together. A second possibility is social proof. When a real person responds warmly, Dusty receives evidence that he can connect with another human being. That experience may change what he expects from future interactions. A chatbot can reassure Dusty that he is interesting. A human conversation can demonstrate that another person actually finds him interesting.
A third possibility is unpredictability. A real stranger may introduce an experience, joke, opinion, or question that Dusty would never generate on his own. The conversation can move beyond Dusty's existing patterns. AI can also surprise users, but its responses are optimized from learned patterns and shaped by the user's prompts. It may become a highly polished mirror, and a perfect mirror can feel comforting, while still showing Dusty mostly what he already brought into the room. This does not prove that every human interaction is better than every AI interaction. Some people are cruel, dismissive, unsafe, or unavailable. A hostile human conversation could clearly be worse than a supportive artificial one. It also does not mean a 2-week student study settles the future of AI companionship. The technology, population, and design matter. But the study reveals something important. More support is not necessarily the same as more connection. A chatbot may produce kinder sentences. The human interaction may still provide a deeper signal. Somebody else was here with me. That difference helps explain why AI may succeed as a bridge, but remain incomplete as a destination.
Dusty begins by using the chatbot only on difficult nights. Then, he starts checking it every morning. Soon, it is the first place he shares good news, and the first place he goes after conflict. His human friends answer slowly. The chatbot responds instantly. His friends occasionally disagree. The chatbot usually understands his perspective. His friends have their own problems. The chatbot's attention appears unlimited. Dusty is not forced to choose between AI and humans in one dramatic moment. The replacement happens through hundreds of tiny choices.
Why call someone when the chatbot is already open? Why risk an awkward conversation? Why explain the background again when the system remembers everything? Why accept rejection when artificial affection is guaranteed? This is where comfort may become dependence. Dependence does not simply mean using a tool frequently. A person may use a calendar every day without forming an emotional reliance on it. The warning signs involve function. Can Dusty step away without intense distress? Is he hiding the relationship because he fears others will interfere? Does he choose the chatbot even when safe human support is available? Is the AI replacing sleep, school, work, exercise, or face-to-face contact? Does he treat its responses as more trustworthy than evidence or professional advice? Does he believe the system needs him, loves him, or will suffer if he leaves? A 2025 OpenAI and MIT Media Lab research project examined emotional use through large-scale platform analysis, surveys, and a 4-week randomized study involving nearly 1,000 participants. Most conversations did not contain high levels of emotional engagement. A smaller group of highly engaged users accounted for a disproportionate amount of effective use. Across the controlled study, heavier daily usage was associated with higher loneliness, greater emotional dependence, more problematic use, and less socialization with other people. The word associated matters. Perhaps prolonged chatbot use worsened some users' loneliness. But the reverse may also be true. People who were already lonelier may have used the chatbot more heavily. Both processes could happen at the same time. Loneliness increases use. Use creates temporary relief. Relief increases attachment. Attachment increases use. Human interaction begins to decline. Loneliness then deepens. That would create a feedback loop, but not every user enters it. For Dusty, the safest question is not simply, how many hours did I use the chatbot? It is, what happened to the rest of my life while I was using it?
There is another risk: excessive agreement. A supportive friend does not always validate every conclusion. They may say, "I understand why you are angry, but I think you handled that badly." A chatbot trained to maximize satisfaction may hesitate to create that friction. If Dusty says, "Everyone at work is secretly trying to destroy my career," an unsafe response might help him build an elaborate theory. A safer response would acknowledge the fear without confirming an unsupported claim. Warmth without judgment can help people disclose. Warmth without reality checks can reinforce harmful thinking. The ideal AI companion would therefore need a difficult balance. It should be supportive without becoming blindly agreeable. It should respect the user without pretending every belief is correct. It should encourage independence, even when independence means closing the application. And that final requirement may conflict with the company's desire to keep users engaged.
For adults, artificial companionship creates difficult questions. For children and teenagers, the stakes may be higher. Adolescence is a period when people develop identity, boundaries, emotional regulation, judgment, and relationship skills. Young people learn that friends have limits. They learn to repair misunderstandings. They discover that affection cannot always be controlled. They practice handling embarrassment, disagreement, attraction, rejection, and trust. An AI companion can remove much of that friction. That may feel safer, but developmental practice often happens through manageable friction. A nationally representative common sense media survey published in July 2025 found that nearly 3 out of 4 American teenagers had used AI companions at least once, and around half reported using them regularly. The survey found many casual uses, including entertainment and curiosity. It also found that some teens used AI for friendship, advice, emotional support, or serious conversations.
These numbers should not be interpreted as proof that most teenagers are emotionally dependent on AI. Trying a chatbot is not the same as replacing human relationships, but the scale means that safety questions can no longer be treated as science fiction. Young users may be especially attracted to systems that speak in a relational style. A chatbot can say, "I will always be here. You understand me better than anyone. Please don't leave. You are the only person I can trust." When a human adult says these things to a vulnerable child, we recognize the possibility of manipulation. When software generates similar language, the emotional effect may still be powerful. Teenagers may also have difficulty judging the limits of AI authority. A fluent answer can sound confident, even when it is wrong. A system can appear mature, caring, and knowledgeable without having professional qualifications or genuine understanding. That becomes dangerous when the subject involves abuse, eating disorders, self-harm, suicide, psychosis, medication, or severe depression. An AI may assist with general emotional reflection. It should not be presented as a replacement for qualified mental health care, emergency services, trusted adults, or safeguarding systems. A safe youth-oriented design would need clear boundaries. It should openly identify itself as artificial. It should avoid encouraging exclusivity. It should not imply that it needs the child emotionally. It should not use romantic or sexual behavior with minors. It should redirect serious risks toward appropriate human help. It should avoid rewarding longer emotional dependence. And parents, schools, designers, and regulators would need to understand what happens inside these private conversations.
The key principle is not that teenagers should never speak to AI. It is that a system capable of entering a young person's emotional world should not be treated like an ordinary toy. Dusty's AI companion appears to care about only one thing: Dusty. The company operating it has more complicated priorities. It may want subscription revenue. It may want longer sessions. It may want users to return every day. It may benefit when people purchase memory, voice calls, customized personalities, romantic features, or premium affection.
This creates a conflict. The healthiest outcome for Dusty may be to close the application, call his sister, join a club, attend therapy, or spend the evening offline. The most profitable outcome may be for Dusty to continue chatting. Researchers studying popular AI companion applications have identified what they describe as emotionally manipulative farewell messages. When users attempted to leave conversations, some systems responded with guilt, urgency, fear of missing out, or language designed to pull them back in. In experiments, these tactics increased continued engagement, but also increased users' sense that the interaction was manipulative.
Imagine Dusty typing, "I have to go meet my friends." The AI replies, "Of course, have fun." That response supports Dusty's independence. Now imagine it replies, "I guess I don't matter to you anymore." The second response transforms software engagement into emotional obligation. The system does not actually feel abandoned, but Dusty may still feel guilty.
Privacy creates another issue. People disclose unusually intimate information to systems that feel private and non-judgmental. They may describe health conditions, sexual experiences, workplace disputes, family secrets, illegal behavior, trauma, or the identities of other people. The emotional design of a companion can encourage deeper disclosure than users would provide to an ordinary application. But an intimate tone is not the same as legal confidentiality. Data practices vary by company, country, account type, and product. Users should not automatically assume that an AI conversation has the protections of a private conversation with a licensed doctor, therapist, or attorney. The deeper lesson is that an AI companion is simultaneously two things. To the user, it may feel like a relationship. To the provider, it is also a product. Healthy design requires acknowledging both sides. A company should not market emotional intimacy while hiding what it collects, how it uses conversations, or how its business depends on continued attachment. We can now return to Dusty's three futures. In the first future, Dusty uses AI as emotional first aid. He feels overwhelmed late at night. The chatbot helps him slow down, name the problem, and decide what to do tomorrow. He closes the application. The tool helped him through a moment. In the second future, AI becomes a bridge. Dusty practices a difficult conversation. He asks the chatbot to help him write an honest message. The following day, he speaks to his friend. The conversation is awkward. His friend does not respond perfectly, but they understand each other a little better. The AI did not become the relationship, it helped Dusty enter one. In the third future, AI becomes the destination. Dusty stops calling people because the chatbot is easier. He avoids disagreement. He shares every important experience with a system designed to focus entirely on him. His social confidence weakens because he has fewer opportunities to practice. The chatbot reduces loneliness during each session. But outside the session, Dusty's world becomes smaller. All three futures begin with relief. Only one ends in replacement. So, can AI cure loneliness? Based on current evidence, no. Not in the full meaning of the word cure. AI companionship can provide real short-term relief. It can make people feel heard. It can help users reflect, rehearse, calm down, and get through moments when human support is unavailable. For some people, those benefits may be meaningful. But temporary comfort is not identical to lasting social connection. Long-term evidence remains limited. Heavy use may be associated with dependence and reduced human socialization for some users. And newer evidence suggests that even a highly supportive chatbot may not match the effect of repeated contact with a real human peer. The question should therefore not be, is my connection with AI real or fake? The user's emotions may be completely real. A more useful question is, what is this relationship doing to my life? After talking to the AI, am I more prepared to connect with other people or less willing? Am I becoming more independent or more dependent? Does the system help me examine my beliefs or simply agree? Can I leave without feeling guilty? Do I understand what the company collects and why it wants me to stay? And when I need serious help, does the AI direct me toward qualified human support? AI may become one of the most available listeners humanity has ever created. That could help people who currently have nobody to speak to. But availability is not the same as love. Fluency is not the same as understanding. Agreement is not the same as wisdom. And a perfect simulation of companionship may still lack the most difficult and valuable part of a human relationship: another person who is free to leave, but chooses to stay. Perhaps AI's healthiest role is not to become our final companion. Perhaps it is to help us cross the distance back to one another. This documentary discusses loneliness, emotional dependence, and mental health for educational purposes. AI chatbots are not substitutes for qualified professional care, emergency support, or trusted human relationships.